All right. So Kiefer's going to see if he can help me out here. This is what happens. This is what happens. You prepare as good as you can, and then things are different. So I assume there's a lot of people out there. I see 52, 54 eyes out there. So there must be quite a few people. Too bad I can't see your commentary right now, but I want to say hi. Welcome. Welcome to Maximize Mondays 2.1, the first session of this second series. And Jill has asked me to come back for this first session, and actually also next week for the second session. So I'm really, really happy to be back. I know that you've signed up for a second peak program, um, physical engagement and activity program. I think you've set yourself some goals to climb some mountain. The mountain is waiting, I saw on the Facebook page. So I'm sure you can't wait to get going. And so why not? Well, let's kick it off tonight. And I know you have a lot of things going as we go through the days. 7 days this week and then 8 more weeks. How many days is that? 7 times 8 is, what about 56? 56 days? 8 weeks? Is that about right? Anyway, that's a good commitment. That's a good program. And I heard Jill talk before I got on here. And you got to do it for yourself. You got to do it at your own pace. You set some goals, and we're going to talk about that. But you want to make it. You want to do it well, and hopefully you can do it all. But sometimes things happen, just like you saw today. There is a technological glitch, and I can't help it. And I still have to roll. I still have to work with it. So as I'm getting started, I'm trying to push some buttons again and just see if I can get going to read your commentary, because I can't wait to see it, because last time you were always so engaged. So that's what we're going to do again. One more button here. There's 3 dots that no, turn off notifications. I don't want that. I'm just gonna click this notifications, and no, I don't want to leave the page. I don't want to end this live video, so I'm not gonna do that. And so I'm gonna do it all by myself. That's too bad. I was looking forward to chat with you, but now you still have to chat, put stuff in the chat, but I can't read it. I don't know. I think Kiefer is going to text me if you have something to ask me. So we're gonna do this as good as we can. So hello, my name is Frank Vandenberg. I'm a mental trainer, a mental performance consultant. I work in sports psychology, and I work with athletes and coaches for over 22, 23 years. Try to help them in their sport from a mental perspective, mental fitness perspective. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I have been doing this for a long, long time. I started off in the Netherlands. That's where I used to live. I am Dutch originally. And in 2005, that's now almost 16 years ago, I came to Canada. My lovely wife, she's Canadian. We met through our sport. We met through our sport bobsleigh. That's what we used to do. I was pushing these bobsleds and as fast as I could, and then jump in and go for the ride. And I really loved it. And we're gonna talk a little bit about love for the sport and why you want to do your sport. I know it's hard these days because we can't see each other. We can't train together. We can't compete. It's really tough. And so I think it's excellent that Special Olympics Alberta is doing this peak program to make sure that you're stay active and stay engaged, and form a little bit of a community on Facebook here and do some dances together. I see that you get 100 points in the peak program if you're attending a dance, so that's worth it. And you get all kinds of other points. You get points for being here live today. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a nice little session, a nice little chat. One way, I guess. Sorry. And then I show you a password, and with that password you get points, bonus points, and you can just add those points towards your total in climbing those mountains. And so I understand that there is like 4 different types of mountains. The the Everest, more than 420 minutes of exercise per week. Wow, that is quite something. That's more than 6 hours. That's 360 and 60. That's actually 7 hours of exercise per week. That's a lot. And then you have the Kilimanjaro, which is still, up to 7 hours. Then you have the Matterhorn. I've actually seen the Matterhorn in Switzerland. It's a magnificent mountain. Obviously, I did not climb it. It would not end very well. And that's a good goal too. And then you have Mount Robson. And what Jill was saying is super important. You set your own goals, and you set the goals that you want to achieve in a challenging but in an achievable way. Okay, and so hopefully this peak program keeps you active, keeps you focused, keeps you engaged. I know you have Maximize Mondays. I know you have Workout Wednesdays. And I believe I heard you have now something to do on Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays. You have bingos to do throughout the week, and that's really cool as well. So I'm going to come back to that bingo card maybe a little later to talk about goals and whatnot. So you've already learned I've done bobsleigh. Before I went into bobsleigh, I did track and field. I was doing hurdles and high jump and long jump and some sprinting. I wasn't really good at throws, I was just too lean, too light to put that shot put away. Or the discus was really difficult. So I wasn't really good at those, but I really liked the rest. And beside that, I like playing volleyball and basketball and a little bit of soccer. And for pleasure, I do activities like snowshoeing to keep myself fit. I did actually 1 lap today. I have a lap around my place here. And I've wanted to do 3 or 4, but I couldn't do it. It was just too cold. So I did 1, just to get outside and get my face all cold and red, and then have the blood pumping, and then come back inside and do some stretches. So that's what I did to be okay, and that's what you can do. Sometimes you have big plans, big goals. I wanted to do 3 laps, maybe 4. Like I've done last Saturday, but it was just colder and it was more difficult, so I made a bit of a change. And so that's what you can do. You can actually change things up so you're still being okay. There's another day, you know what? Maybe tomorrow afternoon the sun shines and it's just a little bit more bearable to be outside, and then I'll do 3 laps. That's fine. So I love skiing, I love sailing, I love golfing, and so that's all a little bit about me. In my work, I love working with Special Olympics Alberta. Some of you know me. We've seen each other before. I've worked with you before. But a lot of you don't know me maybe. And so I've been working with Special Olympics Alberta for about 10 years on and off. And I've loved it. It's great. I keep coming back. So that's awesome. I work with other sports too, artistic swimming. It used to be called synchronized swimming. I used to work with bobsleigh and skeleton. I'm not sure if you know what skeleton is. That's quite crazy. You go on a sled head first down a track. It's, for some daredevils, I guess. I work with alpine skiing. There are some daredevils there too. I work with some wrestlers. The wrestlers want to be strong and fight their opponents. I work with some track athletes. I work with all kinds of sports, and I love that part the most, that I get to work with athletes of different sports, different people, and I always try to help them be good or be better, or to work towards personal best. So think about this. I always would like you to think about, how can I do work towards what I have not done before? What would be a personal best type of effort? What would be a personal best type performance? And you don't have to do it every day, but just work towards that. And that's where all this programming is coming into play. So that's a lot about me, about you. And what I wanted to ask you to put in the chat is, what sport are you doing? I know that there's a bit of a delay, so I'll give you about 30 seconds here to put in the chat what sport you're doing. And I know a few sports. I know about bowling, and I know about snowshoeing. I know about floor hockey and soccer. I know about track. I know about swimming. And I'm probably forgetting a few. Powerlifting. I've worked with with those athletes. And I'm probably forgetting a few. So just take a few seconds just to type in what sport you do, or maybe a couple, maybe more than one. And as you're typing, I'm going to see if I can get any type of commentary here. Anything that helps me see what you're doing. Only will be shown with everything follower. Only your will be able to. We're going to try this. Follower. Maybe only the followers can. No, that doesn't help. Slow. No. Discussion. Multiple. Restricted. No. So I assume that you've put in the chat a lot of the sports that you all are engaged in. No, and I'm just checking my phone. Maybe Kiefer has texted me. Nope, not yet. That's fine. Thanks. We have 68 people watching, looking in. That's awesome. I wish that I knew all those 68 people. Probably know a handful, maybe 2 handfuls, maybe 3 handfuls, maybe 4 handfuls. I'm not sure, but I probably don't know all 68. So welcome everyone. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I keep going. I don't know what else to do, just to do this with you. So, maximize Mondays. And I'm in the business of mental training and mental performance. So let's talk a little bit about that. So, you know, when you're thinking about sport and what really helps to be good or better, I'm thinking about these things. You know, it's a pretty simple list, and there's probably way more. This is my list. Okay, and so you want to be physically fit. You want to be doing good conditioning. You want to nourish yourself well. You know, do proper hydration. There's my bottle here. I hope you have your bottle with you as well. Proper nutrition. That all helps to be physically fit, you know. To be eating something before a workout or after a workout for recovery is to really help on that physical fitness side. And what you also like to do is to become better in the skills. Whatever sport you do. And that's what you practice on all the time. Practice those skills. You know, trying to become better at shooting the ball, shooting the puck. Those strides, okay, the jump that you're doing, lifting that weight. So it all comes down to skills. There's some tactics involved, like how do you build your race? Like if you start a race and you go all out, I'm not sure if you make the finish. So you probably go on a good pace, and then you make sure that you can either continue that pace or maybe even increase that pace, and then finish strong. And that is all to do about tactics. Okay, what's your game plan? What's your race plan? And then on the bottom, that's what we're going to talk about, is the mental fitness. And I like this term, mental fitness. It's something that we can actively do, that we can work on, that we can become better at. You know, just like physical fitness, just like those skills that you practice all the time. And it's a good question to yourself. Okay, you're doing a lot of workouts, you're making yourself physically fit, you have proper nutrition, you work on skills all the time, of course. That's what you train for. And how much time do you also spend on the mental fitness side? So that's what we're going to work on a little bit today and next week. And so here's the big word. You know, being fit is okay, but what's the mental part in this? So what do you think mental in sport means? Like, what is it about? What is the mental fitness part that we're going to talk about? Now, I have a few ideas I'm going to share with you. But just take 30 seconds. 30 seconds as this Facebook Live session is delayed. Just take 30 seconds to type in the chat. What do you think is about mental fitness? What are you thinking about? What are your What are your experiences? You know, either good or bad, but let's talk about what mental means, what mental fitness means to you. So I'll give you a few seconds to write in the chat. And I'm going to check my phone. I got some text. We got floor hockey, bocce, curling, swimming, track and field, speed skating. I forgot about speed skating. Of course, basketball. Yes. Can you text me a picture of your screen? That's the question I got. Is that this screen? Or is it this screen? Not sure. So we'll go on. So we're going to talk about what mental fitness is, okay? I'm not a coach. I'm not working on the physical side. I'm not working on the skills that you need in basketball and speed skating and bocce and all these other sports. We're talking about how you can help yourself with the mental fitness part, okay? So one of the biggest one that I want to kind of talk about first, and I made a mistake in writing this word, but you'll see it, is this: motivation. Okay, I had to put the N down there because I ran out of space, and that happens, right? But that's not a big deal. Motivation. What is motivation about? Motivation is pretty important. It's really about what you want to do, what you don't want to do, what you want to accomplish, where do you want to go. So let's talk about that. And I'm going to ask you a question, okay? And I'd like you to think for yourself. And maybe write it down in the chat, or maybe write it down on a piece of paper. Just write it down. And this is the question. I'm going to have three questions for you or so. The first question: why do you like sports? Why do you like sports? What is good about sports for you? Not your sport. What is good about sports? In general, period. What do you like about sports? Just take a few seconds to write down what you're thinking when I ask you this question about why do you like sports? Now, usually I get these answers like, keeps me busy, keeps me active, I'm doing something I like, keeps me fit, makes me fit, I'm learning new skills, I'm with other people. That's the bad part right now. We can't do it together. That's not really nice. That's not really good. But usually it's about you doing some of these sports together, and that's good fun. So let's hope we can do this again at some point, because that bonding, that team is super important. Okay, so why do you like sports? Think about why you like sports. Maybe it distracts you from school. Maybe it's something else to do. You know, why do you like sports? But here's the second question: why do you like your sport? What is it about bocce that you like so much? What is it about speed skating? What is it about basketball? Or even snowshoeing, something I'm doing, I like, you know? Okay. Now, I'm not trying to achieve anything with my snowshoeing other than just keeping myself fit. You know why I'm doing snowshoeing around my place? Because I'm sitting in front of the screen for 6 hours a day. And that's not a good thing. You know, my neck tenses up. I get my eyes ache. It's just too much screen time. So in the middle of the day or at the end of the day, I put my snowshoe on, I put my toque on, I put my stuff on, and I go outside and I go walk. I go just walk in the snow and let everything that I've been doing just let go. I don't want to be thinking about it. It's just a way to get away. So that's why I like snowshoeing. Why do you like snowshoeing? Why do you like bocce? What is so special about bocce? What is so unique in basketball that you love? Why would you come back? Why would you want to do it again? That's sport. We're talking about motivation. We're talking about passion. Think about that, because that's what you want to kind of remind yourself of. I realize that you can do what you love to do right now, But you have to remind yourself why you actually like that sport, why you may want to go back to it, why you're working this peak program to be fit, to be active, to be engaged, maybe for the time when you can get back in the pool or on the court or on snowshoes. Okay? Now I tell you, you already learned that I used to do bobsleigh and I like going fast. Yeah. That's why I like that sport, and that sport is fast. So that was a good fit. Okay, not everyone likes going fast, but I liked it, and so that was a real eye opener. That was something that I've never thought that I would get into, and once I did, I was hooked. I liked it. I wanted to do it again, and I wanted to work for it, and I worked 5 hard years to be the best I could be, and see if I can accomplish some really big goals. So that's one, motivation. And you know what? The next question is, when it comes to motivation, and this comes to back to the peak program that we're doing here, is what helps motivation? Working with goals. Okay, pretty straightforward. And I think most of you know why goals are good, why goals help us. Now, let me ask you that as a question. Why are goals important in our life, in our studies, in our sports? What do goals do for us? And I wish I could see your answer. So I'm going to give it a little break as you can write down why goals are good. Why do they work? Why is it important? I'm going to read the text that Kiefer is sending me, and he's sending me a whole bunch here. So we're gonna come back to goals pretty quickly here. Kiefer and I are working it. He's texting me a whole bunch, you know. For mental fitness, keeping positive, saying you can do it, be happy, keep your head in the game, preparing to compete, being confident in yourself. We're gonna talk about that. Why do you like sports? To stay healthy, because they're exciting, keeps my mind sharp. I love to see friends and coaches. I like bocce because it's fun to do with friends. Now we're talking about the way you like your sport. I like the idea of challenge. I love wearing new figure skating outfits. Oh, that's nice. New outfits, of course. Love seeing the basket swoosh when I score. Oh, these are exactly the chat answers that I was looking for. That is what is important to you. That is what I wanted to hear. Everyone has that a little bit. So that's why I'm asking the question. So let's go back to goals. Okay, why are goals important? And I usually hear because they tell me what to do. They tell me where to go. They help me focus. They direct my effort. Okay? And you know what? Those goals should be set that you can achieve them. They should be hard, but you should be able to achieve them. And so that really means that you're looking at these goals that you're setting about climbing the Everest or Kilimanjaro or Mount Robson. Well, you got to work for it. You got to work for it probably 8 weeks long, and every week you have a lot to do. So what we're going to do is break down those bigger goals. You don't get to the top of the mountain just like that. You got to go to the first base camp. Okay? You got to get out of your car, you go to base camp. Then you're going to go the first stage. Then you go to the second stage. Then you go to the third stage. That's how you break it down. And every stage you have something to accomplish. That's why the peak program is really helping you with giving you that type of direction and offering you different types of goals. So I'm going to pull up one of those bingo cards. And I'm not sure if this is a current one. It says week 1, but it could be from the fall. But it says, for example, do 15 push-ups or modified push-ups twice a week. Now, maybe twice a week is doable, but 15 push-ups may be hard. Maybe you're kind of in the range of doing 10 push-ups. Now, that's what you want to achieve. Do those 10 push-ups twice a week. Make sure that you reach your own personal goal, that you reach your own achievement. Okay, and you do it twice a week. Dance to your favorite song. Well, I can do that every day. Can you? Can you dance to your favorite song every day? I mean, you only get 1 point for it, but you can still dance to your favorite song every day. That makes you happy. That's awesome. That's fun. Yeah, this one, you know what? I'm going to point it out. Wash your hands for 20 seconds. Yeah, that's an important one. And I don't know, how many times a day would you do that? I think I would do it probably, I don't know, 5 times a day for 20 seconds. Maybe 6, depending on where I'm going or you know where I am. But washing our hands, you know, is a good thing. You can do that. Everyone knows how to wash your hands. That's a doable goal. Can you do it 6 times a day though? Can you do it often? That's the question here. Okay, I get more text in. Let me see. Kiefer, you're awesome. You're keeping me busy here. I have to watch my time. Here we go. My sport has taught me new skills that contribute to my confidence. I like the idea of challenge. We've seen that. Goals. It feels good when you complete a goal. Yes. You know what? That's a good point. I'm not sure who said that, but we talked about motivation and you knowing why you're doing it. And now we're talking about goals and you're trying to achieve something. And then it builds motivation. It makes you feel better. It actually is something that works. So goals and motivation go either way. They go both ways. My goals help to remove stress. You know, that's a good one. I appreciate that honest response because with those goals, you have something to focus on. You know, they can help you out as you go along, and goals help to make my daily healthy habits. Goals help to reach my dreams of a medal. Why not? Why not dream of the medal? Why not have the eye on the prize? It's fine. It's great. I work with a lot of athletes that are very competitive. They do want to win. They do want to get that medal. But it doesn't come easy. They have to work very hard for it, and then they have to compete. And in competition, you'll find out if it actually works out. So that's the exciting part of it. So I looked over the bingo card. Drink 5 bottles of water in one day. 5 bottles is a lot, but I guess I can do that. Okay, so those were the bingo cards. Those are goals. So I would like you to look at the bingo cards and as those smaller goals that you're going to do all along in this peak program. So the bingo card is 1. Then you get you know, attending these sessions, and then you have dances, and then you have all, you know, the workouts that you do. So you have a lot to look at for accomplishing different goals. One more time, make the goals challenging but realistic, something you can achieve. Because if you achieve it, you feel good about it and you can push yourself a little further. But don't set it too high so you can't see it, you can't reach it. It's going to be frustrating. So keep them to a level that you can reach for and be feeling good this week that you made a good start. Good. That's goals. Now we're going to talk about some other things, and I already saw some stuff on the text coming through here, and this is a little difficult. See if I can find something that helps. I'm going to just do it like this. Confidence. Somebody mentioned confidence. Okay. Yeah, it helps you confidence to reach goals. You know, sport helps me to learn something that I can feel better about, and you know, helps my confidence as well. So confidence is a lot about your ability, what you can do. So if you want to help yourself to give yourself some reason why you will be successful, think about your abilities. Abilities. Things that you've learned, things that you can do, things that you can do consistently. Those are your abilities. And we should never forget about what we can do. Yes, there's sometimes something we cannot do. And that's what we may want to improve. That's fair. But never forget about what you can do and how it actually helps to feel good about something that you're doing in your sport. Now you can see kind of the link with self-talk, like how you talk to yourself, what you say to yourself, what you say to others. But you know, this comes from how we think about things. And I'm just wondering, do you guys think sometimes? I'm sure you do. You know, everyone thinks sometimes. I think quite a bit. And sometimes It's not helpful. And that's the whole point. Sometimes we think in a way that is helpful, and sometimes we think in a way that's not helpful. So we have to recognize that. You know, if you would tell yourself, I can't do that, I don't want to do that, do you think you're going to do it? No. You're gonna step away from it. You can also think about it, you know, I can't do it yet, but I can try. Or I can try to do it. I can learn how to do it. So that's a whole different way of how you think about yourself, what you tell yourself, which leads back into confidence about how you feel about things. Okay, the next parts in mental fitness is activation and relaxation. And I use them always both. Often we do a lot of relaxation because it's about dealing with stress or being nervous or being anxious, and relaxation really, really helps. And we're going to probably talk a little bit more about that next week. But I don't want to forget activation, because you need to get going in your performance. You need to, you know, make the blood flow. You need to kind of make yourself ready to do well, which means that you do a warm-up. I'm sure you do a warm-up, or at least some form of warm-up. You probably do some stretches. You probably maybe do some jumps, you know. Anything that really helps to bring the energy up, which is really, really good. Okay? And if it's too much, or you know, you don't need as much, we'll bring the energy down again with a little bit of that relaxation. So it's about activation, how we can bring the energy up, specifically before a training session or when you need to do some exercises. But when it really gets a little challenging or nerve-wracking or frustrating, we need to probably bring the energy level down again, you know. And before I move on, I'm going to read more text because they're coming in as I speak. And I think about saying I can instead of I can't. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you give yourself that chance? You know, if you realize you say I can't do something and you want to challenge yourself, I can do something, maybe that's a better way of approaching it. If you don't quite know how, then ask yourself, what can I do? What can I do to try? Okay? And someone else says, I think about the Special Olympics oath. And I know it, but I have to remind myself. Someone puts it in a text, and it's something about I take pride in how in when I try. And the first part I'm kind of not sure about, but that's probably about winning, I would guess. Okay, winning and trying. That's what I think it's about. Okay, so there's a few more pieces that here in mental fitness and mental performance, and that's about seeing it, seeing yourself doing it. Okay, imagery, visualization. Okay, you're doing a lot of these skills, and why not use our imagination, our imagery, our visualization to support what you're trying to do? And it really works, because if you're imagining it as real as it gets, and I'll probably teach you a couple of things next week with going through that, then you're preparing the same parts of your brain and your nervous system and your muscles to be doing what you want to do for real. So there's a real good reason why you want to become somewhat good in good imagery, good visualization, seeing yourself doing the right things, seeing yourself doing the right things at the right time. I know there's a lot that I'm talking about here, but let's get back to this next time. And the last part, on the bottom, is learning. Every day, every time, we have an opportunity to learn. Learn about what worked and what we want to maintain, what we want to remember, and learning what didn't work. What we want to do different. What we want to improve. Okay? And if it's not one thing that you did well and one thing that you improved, because that's good enough, tell yourself 2 things that you did well and that worked for you. and 2 things that you can do different. Tell yourself every day, this worked, this worked, and this is something I want to improve, okay? And that keeps you really sharp for the next day. You know, if you remind yourself, oh yeah, that's what I thought last night, you know, that's what I want to do, keep doing, that's something I want to do different. And then you have, again, goals that you can work for. So that's how you can keep going. So reflecting and learning, and then using that to your in favor of your motivation, setting goals, and your self-talk keeps you going again into the next day. Now, this is a lot. I'm just asking you to enjoy it, and maybe in the next week find a couple of moments in which you can go, this worked, that's what I want to improve. Last part before we part. Oh, is that a coincidence? The last part before we part, and then I'll give you a passcode. You need a passcode to earn the points, so I have that for you here as well. And this is what I put. Up on the last page. Heart. So we talked about all these other mental training skills, like the goal setting and being motivated and believing in yourself, feeling confident, talking to yourself in good ways, relaxing when you need to, pumping it up when you want to, seeing yourself being successful, learning in the process, and then I bring up heart. And this is an important one as well. And heart can, be for different things. It can be about the courage that you need. Okay, you need heart to be doing it. You need discipline. You need actually to put yourself in there. That's a good one of looking at heart. But the most favorite part of looking at heart, and I have a heart right here, as you can see, right? I love Alberta, is the love, is the passion, is the love for the sport, the commitment that you're making, and really getting a lot out of it. And by the way, it's not only about getting a lot out of it, sometimes it's also about giving a lot to others, to the program, to your coaches. And by giving, you're actually getting a lot of happiness. Okay? So it's a really positive and powerful thing. So think about heart and how heart can play a role in the next few days, in the next few weeks, as you go. And you will maybe hit some roadblocks on the way up that peak. Maybe there is a fallen tree. Maybe you have to get over a river. Maybe you have to go through a river. Maybe you have to problem solve your way around a corner. Well, that takes heart. That takes, some courage. And think about what it means for you to solve that little problem and then move on. Okay? And you probably feel good. You feel it right there where your heart is. And think about heart because a lot of positive emotion, a lot of good feelings, happiness are radiated from the heart. So put this on top of all the mental training stuff. And what I often teach the athletes I'm working with, we're doing a lot of head work, a lot of talking, a lot of figuring things out and using that brain, head work. And then we're gonna go and do heart work. And maybe next week I'll explain a little bit more about heart work. Okay? Making the heart beat in a way that is soothing, that helps our brain function, our decision making, that helps our emotions, our mood, our feeling. Okay? So there is a time for head work and there's a time for heart work. Now, I'm going to one more time check the text from Kiefer and give you about 30 minutes to maybe put some 30 minutes? How about 30 seconds? 30 seconds to put something like in the chat. I can't read it still. We'll figure it out for next week. But maybe a question you have. Something else. And then we're gonna wrap up pretty soon. What time is it? I've been busy for about 40 minutes or so. 42 minutes. I think we've done enough, don't you think? I mean, I've spoken a lot. I feel tired, but also excited. You know, that's possible. I feel tired and excited. Um, but I'm sure there's a lot that you've heard. I would like you to think about two takeaways from tonight. Two things that you really like. Two things that you that will help you. That will help you do the peak program right now, this week, first week. Okay? What what could help you 3 weeks down the line? What could help you at the end when it's week 7 or 8? Think about today, what you've learned, and what you've learned today, what can help you then. So make a small note. Okay, tell yourself, write yourself a little text. Put it in your computer. Just remember it, because there may be a time where you need it again. And I like that a lot, because now you're helping yourself. It's not that I'm telling you to do something, but you remember, you realize that something was very, very, very helpful, and you go back to that, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 weeks from now. So take it on for yourself. Okay, I've got a question here. How do I stay positive from staying at home, Frank? That's hard. It's really hard because it's been taking so long. We can do this for a little while, I'm sure. You can do it for a little while. But this has been months. This has been such a long time that we're finding ourselves in this, very, very difficult situation. So you got to be kind to yourself, first of all. And you want to be kind to others as well, okay? Stay positive. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about that, but be kind. Everyone is affected, me as well. It may not look to you like that, but definitely, I can't see my family. I'm sad about that. It affects all of us in one way or another. So just realize that that has effect on you is super important. Just name it. Just say, hey, I feel sad. I am sad that I can't see my family. Because if you name it, then it's not this strange thing. So just be honest with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself something healthy or positive to do every day. Maybe something that comes through the peak program. There's a lot of suggestion right there, all kinds of suggestions, but they all help you to take control of what you can control. There's a lot what we cannot control, but there is a lot what you can control, and that's your nutrition. That's how you spend your time. Maybe doing some drawings. I'm not sure if you like drawing, but I encourage you to get one of those books, or maybe just download it from the internet. One of those pictures that you start to color in, like nice forests or other landscapes or animals. And just the act of drawing makes you a little easier. Maybe you want to journal and just put your thoughts on paper. It's so important to speak with others and just tell them what you feel. Okay. Hopefully you can do that with people that you trust, so it's not a big deal. So it's not it's okay. But be together is so important in this, and other people just have to say, no, I feel you, I hear you. I don't have a solution, but I'm with you in this. Okay, so just show that bond, and maybe a couple more things. Can you do an act of kindness for someone? Because again, what I said earlier about doing something for someone else actually makes you happier. I mean, this is not just because I say it. This is research. This is what we know. Just acts of kindness for other people will actually pay back for yourself. So you can do it for other people, but you can also do it a little bit for yourself as you're doing it. And then gratitude. Think about maybe 3 times a week, or maybe only on Sunday, 1 time a week. Think about 1 or 2 things that you're really grateful about, even in this terrible situation. There must be something. Maybe your physical fitness is pretty good. Maybe the people around you are real friends. Maybe you have an opportunity to learn or do something else. What can you be grateful for? Think about that gratitude, because again, it uplifts us, it helps us. And I'm going to tell you, do this every week. Maybe once, maybe twice, not every day, but just think about what you can be grateful for, even under these circumstances. I hope that answer really helps you. There's multiple, there's more than one piece to this, but maybe one of those really resonate with you. And let me know next week how it's going. One more question here, and then I'm going to turn off and give you the password. We still have 68 people online, so no one has really dropped off. That's awesome. Frank, what is your favorite part about doing the peak sessions? Well, you know what I don't like? What is not my favorite part? Is that I'm looking into this camera. And I know that there are 68 people out there. And today I can't even read the comments, you know, that you make. So that makes me feel disconnected. Okay, so but what I do about this is I'm going to think back about all those years and all those experiences that I've had to work with you, with Special Olympics Alberta, with all those teams, with the coaches, and what it has meant, what it has done for me, and that I actually became a better sports psych, a better person by working with you, just as I get better by working with anyone else. It's just something that I feel very passionate about. And I wish that I could see you. I wish that we could be in the same place and that I can walk around the tables and interact with you, because that's the best. But we can't, and I'm talking into this camera. But you know what? I'm going to do it again next week. How about that? I have to prepare for it a little bit, but I know what I'm going to do, and I hope that everyone is going to return. I wish you a really good week. You know, doing all the activities, stay sane, stay healthy, stay active on the Peak Program Facebook page. Show me what you've got. And this is the passcode for today. Maximize Mondays 2.1. There we go. One bowler. Write it down. Don't want to forget. This is points. This is money. One bowler. Everyone got it? One bowler. I wonder how many bowlers are out there. Probably not one. Probably more than one. But the passcode is one bowler. I wish you all a good night. All a good night. Have a very good week, and I hope to see you next week. And Kiefer and I are gonna figure out how we're gonna fix this this chat. Anyway, good to be with you. Have a great week. See you next Monday. Bye bye.